It's already done $100 million at the box office. When you guys were shooting the film and doing the voices, did you have any idea that it would be as big as it is?
I guess you venture into an experience like this knowing that you're going to be a part of something big because it's Disney and it's an animated film and sort of following in line with some of the other amazing films I know Zach and I both grew up watching. It's still mind-boggling to know that people are liking the movie and it's found an audience. But I don't know if you could ever expect and anticipate the success that it's found so far.
Yeah, I think. I don't think anything can be anticipated in Hollywood. You know, no matter what the formula is, I think a lot of people bank on formulas and they lose big often. But I've always believed in the film. I mean, especially because it's Disney, especially because it's a Disney animated musical and really awesome classic kind of Disney storytelling, and the people involved. Like Miss Moore, and our wonderful directors and writer, and John Lasseter now being kind of overseeing all of it and the success that he's had at Pixar. So I believed in that formula. And again, I guess I'm contradicting myself because you can't believe in them or bank on them. But it's amazing, and it's amazing to see how many repeat viewers. I mean, I have a lot of fans that tweet and say, "I've gone 4 times. They've gone 4 times to the movie," and if it has that kind of replay value now, one can only hope that translates into a DVD and Blu-ray and later on.
Yeah.
I could have gone straight in and watched it a second time as well, but even though you say that there's a formula, I still think that it's gone up another level because it seems to have more of an edginess than other Disney films. There's a skerrick of blood in it towards the end. And I couldn't help thinking the Snuggly Duckling, the pub scene?
Yeah.
That looks like a bondage bar, an old one that we used to have in Sydney called Manacle, which I did not expect to see in a Disney film.
Tell us about Manacle. I could see how one might take it that way. Fortunately, kids are pure of heart and mind and don't know anything about bondage. It's funny, I actually kind of always thought it was like the Prancing Pony from Lord of the Rings. I felt like it was very much that vibe, but also, of course, an animated, fun version of that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite scene, I think, in the whole movie.
Me
I mean,
too.
it's the most beautiful, clearly, is the lanterns and, the duet, and that's all really awesome. But I do love the fun that is had in the Snuggly Duckling.
Now let's kick off with your characters because each of them has a big problem when the film does start. So how would you describe each of your characters' problems?
I play Rapunzel, and obviously she's a nearly 18-year-old young woman and has lived her entire life inside this tower and has always yearned for the outside world. There's something that's compelling her to sort of follow this dream that she has of figuring out what these lights are that appear in the night sky on her birthday. And she meets Zach's character Flynn and, finds her company to sort of accompany her on this journey, and chaos and adventure ensue from there. But what was your character's?
What's Flynn's problem?
My problem. What's not my problem? I think that's the question for Flynn. I mean, he's being chased by basically everyone and everything, including incredibly talented horses. Maximus, who kind of steals the movie. He and Pascal, I think, really steal the movie.
Absolutely.
And Mother Gothel. Donna Murphy just kills that role. Just unbelievable. Anyway, Flynn, he's stolen the Lost Princess's crown. It's not really a tiara. It's a crown.
It's a crown.
It's a crown. And has, run off with it and kind of left his partners in crime in the dust. So now they're after him. The palace guard is after him. The palace guard's horse is after him. And then he ends up with an even bigger problem, which is now he's kind of indebted to this girl who's stolen the crown that he has stolen. It's a double whammy, really, and is holding this kind of over his head so that he can, lead her on this journey and bring her to see these magic floating lights that she has. She doesn't know what they are, but she knows that there is a connection. There's something deeply rooted in them and her.
Yes.
And we come to find out that there is.
There's also something I'll be asking the directors. Do you think it was on purpose that they made Flynn Rider look like Jake Gyllenhaal?
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dead spit.
Not opinion, fact.
I think he looks like Zach.
He does.
I think he does look a little bit like
There's
Zach.
a whole petition online that people think he looks like Robert Pattinson.
What?
I don't know.
No
He's
way.
got too much of a zest for life.
Does Robert Pattinson not have a zest for life?
He has a zest for death.
As a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he?
But you know that he's meant to be the most handsome.
Yeah.
Flynn Rider's meant to be the most handsome animated character ever.
This
There
is
was like
true.
a whole. You can ask the directors. There was like a whole sort of like test that they did with women where
Yeah,
they were
like
asking
300
them
women or something like that.
who their favorite actor was, or who they thought was most handsome, or what qualities or attributes of men that they found attractive, and it was sort of this mix and match smorgasbord, and
So
that's
ultimately,
how.
they just pointed at a picture of me and said, make him look like Jake Gyllenhaal, not like Zachary Levi. Make him look like a Jake Gyllenhaal / Robert Pattinson. No, I don't know. It's funny, I've never seen Gyllenhaal in him. But then again, I don't see Jake Gyllenhaal in a lot of people. I only see Jake in Jake.
I don't see Jake and a lot of other people either. I just was commenting to somebody when I was watching the film going, man, he's a dead spit for Jake. But,
Dead
anyway.
spit.
Yeah.
Dead
I'm
spit,
going to take that home with me.
Oh, yeah, that's like spitting image. It's an
Yeah,
Australian
yeah,
saying.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Dead Ringer. We'll say that. Dead Ringer. Yeah. Spitting image.
I've seen Chuck on TV because you act in that with Yvonne Strahovski, who's an Australian actress.
She is.
Who knew you could sing?
God. My parents. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up doing a lot of musical theater. I love singing. Always wanted the opportunity to employ that in a professional way. And now I've been given that opportunity, and maybe I'll continue on with it. I hope to. Or maybe it'll just be bottled back up again. I don't know.
No.
Ooh, this little light of mine. I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to keep doing it. I don't know. Singing's kind of one of those things. I mean, again, maybe it's just because I grew up doing musical theater or because I'm just a spaz in general, but I think that everyone should sing and dance throughout their lives at random moments. I just think you should. They make people
It's
happy.
healthy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's healthy and happy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be good at it. I mean, if you want to get paid, you have to be good at it, but I think even if you're not, good on professional levels, just do it anyway. It's fun.
And I thought it was wonderful that your songs, Mandy is a Princess, none of them were cheesy. And they were also beautiful and gutsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's Alan Menken and Glenn Slater, who wrote all of the music and composed the score for the film, are fantastically genius and, just incredible. So it was very humbling, I think, for both of us to get to work with them. But I loved how our spin on the classic sort of story of Rapunzel, it allows for Rapunzel to not be the damsel in distress. She really gets to sort of own her ground, and she's sort of, she has moxie.
Gumption.
Gumption. I love that, more often than not, Rapunzel is taking care of Flynn, is sort of helping him along the way, saving
calm
him.
down, okay? I'm
She
affording you
does.
opportunities to do that.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And who's the voice of the chameleon? Because that's going to be the new must-have pet for kids, this Christmas when
Oh,
they see
but-
it.
A squeaky toy? I don't know. What was the voice of the comedian? I mean, it was just like that's all it...
So you didn't double up and do that voice yourself?
I wish. I was throwing all kinds of stuff at him when I was doing my... I was like, come on, man, Flynn could be like, like real ghetto. You know what I mean? Like, he could be this man right here. And they were like, no, he can't be that guy.
I love how the two characters that steal the entire movie are the non-speaking
Yeah, they don't even say a
animals.
word. I know.
They steal the
But
entire
they're
movie.
so good.
Yeah.
They really are. The animators for this movie are just
It's
genius.
a testament
They're really
to the
amazing.
animators.
Yeah.
And when you were doing the voices, were you able to be in the same room? Describe how that was done so that you could respond to each other.
We only got to record the duet together. All the dialogue was done separately.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
know,
we're
I know.
that good. No, the directors are that good.
Yes, because they were able to sort of cobble all the performances together, and you would never know. It's so seamless.
What's their directing style like? How did they help Rapunzel come to life for you and Flynn come to life for you?
A lot of yelling. Lots of yelling.
Yeah.
And in German,
Chastising
too.
us.
Nine!
Yeah.
Nine! No, I'm kidding. They didn't know. They were very supportive.
Incredibly supportive, and I know, especially in my sessions, because you record all of your dialogue by yourself, they were both really great about stepping up to the plate and reading with me, reading through some of the scenes initially so I could just sort of understand what the flow of the story or what the scene was supposed to sort of entail. So I definitely used them a lot in that sense. Poor Nathan had to be Mother Gothel.
Yeah. I think he enjoyed it.
I think he did too.
I think
He
he
had
enjoyed
fun.
it. I will say one of the things that I found the most helpful to kind of glean from them was their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They were so, and it still are. I mean, the movie's out and it's done very well in the States, and God willing, it'll do well around the world. But every time I'd go in for a session, they were always like, okay, so in this scene, and they would bring out the storyboards and they want to explain, you know,
And have something new to show you.
yeah, have something new, and they were just always so excited. And whether you're doing live action or animation or whatever, it doesn't matter where you work. You hope that your bosses are enthusiastic and excited about what you're doing.
Bring passion.
Otherwise, as an employee, you know, if they're not, you kind of feel like, well, what are we all doing? It seems like a waste of time if you're not happy about it, if you're not excited about it. And they were, and that made it a lot more fun, sure.
And my last question is about the theme, which I thought was just such a wonderful message, that everything can be explained, the only real miracle is love. That's the message I got anyway. Is that the message you got from the film?
Sure. I mean, I think there's like a couple of different things to take away from the movie. I loved especially, you know, the fact that Rapunzel, her entire life, she was told the thing that made her special was her 70 feet of magical hair, and really what was within her all along is what really made her special. So I like that message, especially for kids and young women. I think that's important.
I think you could also, I mean, again, yeah, there are many messages to take from the film. Flynn's kind of journey of, you know, you find out he was really Eugene Fitzherbert, and you know, kind of being true to oneself and knowing that you don't need to create this facade, that it's okay to be you and own who you are and love who you are. That's one thing. But and at the end of the day, and at the end of the film, you get this incredible, you know, from both ends of this message of self-sacrifice and love, and that's huge, you know, to die to oneself, to offer that to someone else. I mean, that's a really big thing. So
Thank you so very much.
thank you.
It was a beautiful film.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I loved it. I'd go straight back and see it again.